That damn mouse.
Huh?
He said you in that mouse. Muted it.
Gotcha.
I'm just thinking of the room to see how it sounds.
Shalom. YAHANNA to all the brothers. YAHANNA all the sisters. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the Bible, according to history, according to archaeology. You know what I mean? If you can hear us, you know, please let us know if you can't hear us.
You can hear it, it's just not as loud. Yeah, bring it closer to you.
Let us know if you have any problems hearing us. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so it's guess we to Wab. Alright, so today's topic, we're going to go into the dietary law. We're going to talk about clean and unclean foods. You know, we're gonna bring it straight out the Bible because, you know, in the Christian church, you know, everybody know in the Christian church they love to eat that swine, the pork chops, shrimp, lobster, you know, all that. You know, and the truth is that the Bible is against eating those things. You know, it tells us not to eat those type of foods. And we're going to show you in the Bible, you know what I mean, what the Lord has given us to be able to eat and what the Lord has deemed us not to eat. You understand? You know, we could come up with all the reasons in the world on why we shouldn't eat pork or why we shouldn't eat this and why we shouldn't eat that. When at the end of the day, the reason why we shouldn't eat it is because the Lord said not to eat it. You understand? And, you know, and it's disgusting, you know, it just adds to the disgusting things that's done in the Christian church. You know, they love to tell you that, you know what I mean, the law is done away with and the law don't matter, you know what I mean, and you can eat what you want. The reason why they believe that and they comfortable believing that is because a lot of those Christian church and Christian members and Christians and Muslims, a lot of them is they say the law is done away with it, so they don't feel convicted that they have some type of deviancy going on. So that they don't feel convicted because they a child molester. So that they don't feel convicted because they are homosexual. You understand? All those type of things. But the truth is, the law is very much relevant today as it was 2,000, 3,000 years ago. You understand? And how do we know this? Because black men still dying of heart attacks and diabetes 2019. You understand? I knew a brother, in my hometown. He was a barber. The brother was I remember he was about 30 years old, in better shape than I was, and died of a heart attack. You understand? Things like this happen in the black community because of the foods that we eat, because we sin directly to the Lord's face by picking up that swine, picking up that crab, picking up that lobster. You understand? So today, we're going to go into it. You know what I mean? So like if I could, and I'm gonna be doing the reading temporarily.
I got you.
Oh, you got me? No sweat.
Make sure it sounds good. What you need?
Right. We're gonna start at Leviticus. Matter of fact, let's start at Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. Let's start there. Start at Deuteronomy 27 and 1. Baruch Hashem. You understand? This Bible is not a religious book. You know what I mean? For starters. What this Bible is this Bible is like the U.S. Constitution is to America. What the Constitution is to America is what the Bible is to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Just like how in America, they consider it, it's illegal to rob a bank. It's illegal to embezzle money. It's illegal to, to do all sorts of things in America. And it's legal to do certain things in America. Just like there's laws, barring people from doing things in America, in Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian culture, there are laws that bar us from doing certain things as well. You understand? And just let me know whenever you get that.
I got it.
Oh, Deuteronomy. Yeah, go ahead and read that for me. Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1, Baruch Hashem.
Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments.
Do what?
Keep all the commandments.
A lot of people believe that this Bible is a religious book. You understand? But what Moses is breaking down is not religion. Ain't nothing religious about that. You understand? It's nothing religious about what that scripture just said. If you could read it again from the top, I would shout.
And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people.
He did what?
Commanded the people.
No, he asked them.
Commanded the people.
No, he made a special request.
Commanded the people.
Moses commanded the people. He gave them an order. Just like how John Hancock gave America an order when he signed the Constitution. Life, law, and pursuit of happiness. You understand? These are laws that he breaking down. He said, keep all the commandments. He don't say this is a religion. We're going to go worship, white Jesus on the cross. He don't say that. You understand? He said, keep all the commandments which I command thee this day. You understand? And if I could go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Sure. Moses told us to keep these laws. You understand? And Christ said out his own mouth that he did not come to destroy the law nor the prophets, but only to fulfill the law. He didn't come to destroy or break down what Moses said. You understand? He came to reinforce what Moses said. You understand?
You ready?
Yeah, come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To do some of the commandments.
All his commandments.
To do half of the commandments.
All his commandments.
To pay tithes and don't do shit else.
All his commandments.
You understand? The Bible said, Moses said that this is basically the deal that the Lord is brokering with us. You understand? He's saying that if you keep these commandments, if you follow these laws, if you follow this wisdom, what I'm giving you. You understand? Read on.
that I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He gonna do what?
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord said that if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Lord was going to set us on high above every nation on the earth.
Right.
You understand? And you know, before I move forward, I want to make a statement. You know, it definitely didn't sound crazy to me when I first found out I was an Israelite. You understand? When I first found out that we was the people of the covenant, that we was the people that followed the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Because one of the things I grew up, and a lot of people understand this, is, you know, say when somebody goes skydiving. You know, when somebody goes skydiving, or if we hear a story about somebody dying skydiving, automatically in our mind, we know that that was not a black person. Why? Because we know in our minds that skydiving, we call it white people stuff. You understand? We be like, white folks do that, black folks don't. You understand? Because, and see, naturally we have that in us today, where there are things that we even identify that that's what white people do. That ain't what black people do. You understand? Well, I'm about to break down and show you in the Bible that eating pork is something white people do. That's something the Arab man does.
Right.
That's something the Chinese man does.
Right.
But that is not something that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do.
Right.
You understand? I got Facebook. I have Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Lined up so I can read the chats. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually what I was trying to do. I'm saying you can integrate the chats.
Oh,
So that's what I'm working on
yeah,
right
go
now.
ahead.
Integrate the chats.
It's distracting me, so
It's a
I'm.
login. You know what I mean? I can wait till later.
Nah, go ahead. Let's get it out of the way. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it
But
out.
you want you I mean,
No, you can go ahead and do
Alright.
that if I could, Barbara. Sorry. That way we just get it out of the way. So, like it, everybody.
now you can go. You can just keep teaching. Cause I'm gonna do it over here.
It's just distracting seeing everything moving around.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't want to delay the class because people already watching.
All right, no sweat, no sweat. All right, so let me get this. Hold on. What is up with the mouse? Salakia. The mouse too little and I'm too big. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. All right, so you know, eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You know, those are things that the other nations do. You know, if the white man want to eat pork, you know, you can tell the pig, the swine, is not unto holy unto the white man.
Right.
You understand? Like, think about it. Like, he put it on everything.
Right.
You know, I remember when I first stopped eating pork. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, it was a little challenge for me because, you know, and mainly because once I stopped eating pork, I realized how much pork is almost forced on us at certain restaurants.
Right.
You understand? Like one of my favorite sandwiches was one of them Zaxby sandwiches, the little Zaxby's Club sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the chicken, the cheese, the lettuce, tomato, and the bacon. Well, here's the deal. They almost don't even understand what you're asking for. So like, when you say, yeah, I want the Zaxby's Club with no bacon, they be like, huh? No bacon? You understand? They won't even, you know, they won't even swap it out with extra fries or nothing. You know, they charge you $2 if you add bacon, but if you remove bacon, you're still paying for that bacon. You understand? And I remember they had the bacon wrap pizza, you know, bacon wrap bacon, you know, bacon wrap fatback,
Right.
bacon wrap steak, bacon wrap shrimp. You know, that's in a bacon milkshake. You know, that, and when I seen the bacon milkshake, that is when I knew that the white man was
They
a
got.
devil.
You can go to Five Guys and get a bacon milkshake.
A bacon milkshake
at Five
at
Guys.
Five Guys. Like who the hell thought of a milkshake with bacon in it? You know what I mean? That's the white man. Like the white man loved a pig. You know, the white man is a pig. He's a filthy pig and he loved the pig. You understand? But black people, we know because we were given instruction by the Most High that the pig is an unclean animal and is unclean to us. And the Lord says in this scripture, Deuteronomy 28:1, that if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, then he was going to make sure that we were above every other nation.
Right.
You understand? That is the natural order of things on the earth. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, we supposed to rule all over all the earth.
That's right.
You understand? The only thing stopping us from ruling all over the earth according to the Bible is that baconator you eating.
Right.
And that ham sandwich. You understand? That pulled pork, that shrimp, lobster, and crabs. You understand? Because as long as black men is dying of diabetes and heart attacks at 30, 31, 32 years old, then we ain't gonna never build no kingdom. You understand? The Lord is not gonna be with us. You understand? Matter of fact, if we could get that 28:15, Baba Bashar.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If we would do what?
Not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he's saying, if it come to pass, if we don't listen to the law that says that the pig is unclean and we want to eat that shrimp and eat that lobster, you understand? If we decide that we not going to listen to the Lord and we rather going to listen to the white man. I seen it. You know what? I've been eating healthy lately.
Right.
And I noticed some new commercials been coming on, been talking about how pig is healthy, how pork tenderloin is like the best source of protein and nutrients and all that. Wow. I'm like, good night. Like the white man is the devil, the Bible says. He even pushing the pork on the people that eat healthy, saying you want to eat healthy,
right.
Eat that swine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, but so the thing is that these are examples of us not listening to the Lord and instead listening to the white man. Of course, the white man gonna tell you pig is good, pig is healthy, pig is fine, shrimp is good. I was watching a video about protein and stuff like that, and they was talking about how one of the best sources of protein was shrimp. So even healthy people going to the gym every day. Explain this to me. You're going to the gym every day, running 1,000 miles a day, drinking 100 gallons of water, eating salad from sun up to sundown, and still putting shrimp on it.
Good night.
And you still dying of a heart attack at 35 years old. You understand? The reason why is because the Lord told us not to eat those foods. You understand? Read on.
Come. To observe, to do all his commandments.
Go ahead.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
See, you can play with the Lord if you want to.
Right.
You understand? The Most High is not to be trifled with.
Right.
I like to use those exact words because it sounds funny to me, but it's definitely serious. But the Lord is not to be trifled with. If the Lord say don't do it, don't do it. If the Lord say He gonna put you to death, He gonna put you to death. You understand? So the Lord says that if you don't listen to Him, so if we want to ignore the Most High saying not to eat this because it's unclean, and we would instead rather go and listen to the white man who say pork is the other white meat. Right. You know, pork is one of the best sources of protein. If that's how we want to rock, then the Lord said all these curses was going to come on you. You understand? And today we're not breaking down the curses. You understand? We can get to that on another class. But I was bringing that out to show you that the Lord laid it down plain. You understand? He laid it down simple and plain. Either do it and you're going to be blessed. You're going to be above everybody. You ain't going to have to worry about nothing. But if you don't do it, you're going to be cursed. And if you're in this class today, you probably know what them curses is. You know about Deuteronomy 28:68. Say he was going to send us into slavery on ships. You understand? So you know what the stakes are when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We can't go further after now. We can't go far. We can't go forward saying that the law is done away with. Because if the law is done away with, then that means we shouldn't have went into slavery.
Right.
We shouldn't have went into the transatlantic slave trade. If the law is done away with, then as soon as Christ died, we should have been in the kingdom of heaven. It should have been the kingdom of heaven. He should have came back with 1,000,000 chariots immediately and got us up out of there.
Right.
You understand? But that's not the case, because the law still stands. If the law didn't still stand, then we still wouldn't be dying at the age of 32 from a heart attack.
Right.
You know what I mean? A brother that could play basketball 3 days a week, in shape, in good shape, and still drop dead of a heart attack. You understand? Still get diabetes, still get high cholesterol. You understand? Because the Lord sent those things against us because we choose to break his dietary law. You understand? So we're going to get into it. You know, we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 11. And we're going to start at verse 2. You understand? So what we're going to get into today is we're going to get into the clean and unclean foods that the Lord told us that we can and cannot eat.
Right.
You understand? That's what we're going to get into. You understand? We're not going to necessarily get into clean and unclean, but we're going to get into clean and unclean foods or meats or animals that the Lord told us that we can and cannot eat. You understand? So we're going to start at Leviticus chapter 11. We're going to start at verse 2.
Gotcha. Leviticus chapter 11 verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel.
To who?
The children of Israel.
Not the whole world.
The children of Israel.
What about the Chinese man?
The children of Israel.
You understand? The Bible says speaking to the children of Israel, just to reinforce that this whole Bible, from beginning to end, is about the children of Israel and nobody else.
Right.
These laws was given to the children of Israel and nobody else. And guess what? The only people that suffered the consequences that are written in this Bible are the children of Israel and no one else. And like it said in the book of Psalms, praise ye the Lord for that. You know what I mean? Read on.
Come. Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
You understand? So he's about to break down for you all the animals that you can eat that are on the face of the earth. When it says on the face of the earth, it's talking about the ones that live on the land. You understand? The ones you walk around and you see walking around in the woods, or the one you might come across it, you know, on your daily basis. Just whatever you come across, he about to break down for you how you know what is good food and what is not food. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse number 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed.
So whatever part of the hoof and is cloven footed. To give you an example of that, you know how you have a cow. A cow has a hoof that has a split down the middle. You understand? It has a split right down the middle. You know what I mean? That's what that's basically describing. Go ahead.
Come. With the cloven foot, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
You know what I mean? When it's talking about chewing the cud, that's talking about the digestive process of what type of food that it eats.
Right.
Like a cow. What a cow does is it'll eat grass and hay and wheat and things like that, and it'll eat it, swallow it, regurgitate it, eat it, swallow it, regurgitate it, and so forth and that's how it digests food. It's food. So so everything that it eats, everything about the way it eats and what it eats is very clean in nature. So the meat that you're eating is going to be clean.
Right.
You understand? So that's what it means when it's talking about chewing the cud. It's talking about the way that it eats and processes its food. Read on.
Verse number 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat.
All right, so pay attention. Go ahead.
Of them that chew the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
You see that right there? So it's giving you a clear example. How you it's using a camel as an example. It said it chews the cud, but it is not cloven-footed. It doesn't split the hoof like the cow does. You understand? So the camel may digest the food the same way, but it is not cloven-footed. It is not split on the hoof. So therefore, as when you look at a cow is unlawful.
Right.
Let me see, brother.
Where you on
Sorry.
Facebook? Where you on?
Young man got his name yet?
Which one?
Malik.
No.
Okay. So brother Malik said, Salaki out of one. White man told me he eats horse meats regularly. Yeah, because the white man is a disgusting devil the Bible speak of. You know what I mean? He eat alligator. I seen a video one time. I almost threw up.
Right.
It was and I couldn't believe it. They was in India, paid thousands of dollars to go to this restaurant in India and eat. They got a monkey, a little spider monkey. I think it's a little like the Abu monkey.
Right.
And put it in a hole in the middle of the table. They had a table with a hole in it. It was a round table. In the middle of the table was a hole. So they brought the monkey, a live monkey kicking and screaming, stick the monkey in a hole, and they closed this thing up on the monkey neck. And the only thing sitting up on the table was the monkey head. And the monkey sitting there screaming and going crazy.
Nice.
And they hand everybody a hammer and say what you're supposed to do is hit the monkey across the head, crack his skull open, and scoop his brain out and eat it. I'm talking about
It sound like it to me, bro.
Hey, and I seen the white man do that, and it was like, oh, this is quite amazing. I'm like, you disgusting devil. Like that's how disgusting the white man is. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't understand why we give so much love to these filthy creatures, man. Right. You know what I mean? These filthy creatures, man. They eat anything. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time when I see them eating crab and shrimp, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, you might as well go eat an oil filter. Right. You know what I mean? That's basically what you eating is an oil filter. Go crack the oil filter off the bottom of your car, and I bet it probably tastes better than the shrimp and the crab. You know what I mean?
Right.
Read on.
God. But divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
So it says it plainly, the camel is unclean unto you. You know, and they use that as an example for the brothers and sisters at that time, because where they living at? They living in the Middle East, or the so-called Middle East. Camels all over the place. So they recognize a camel any day. So the Lord go ahead and let them know, them camels right there, them unlawful, them unclean. Don't eat them. And he gives an example. Even though it chews the cud, look at it. It does not split the hoof. So therefore it's unclean unto you. Read on.
God. Verse 6, that's like verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud.
The coney is like a, I mean, when you look it up, it says it's like a rabbit.
Yeah, I think it's more like a,
but
look it up right now.
It looked more like a mouse to me.
Yeah.
It's like a little rat, like a mouse rat. You know, that's exactly what it looked like to me. It don't look like no rabbit. It looked like a mouse. But we gonna go with rabbit because that's what the definition say.
Yeah, it's rabbit.
So it's like a rabbit type rat. You know,
species.
Master Splinter, Bugs Bunny, you know, type of deal. But long story short, you know, the coney chews the cud. But read on.
Come. But divideth not the hoof.
But divideth not the hoof. So even though the coney chews the cud, he don't divide on the hoof. His hoof ain't split. You understand? Matter of fact, they don't even have hoofs. Rabbits, as far as I remember, got paws. You understand? And we're just going to go in a little more detail about that in a little bit, but read on.
He is unclean unto you.
Right, so that coney, that little rabbit, is unclean unto you. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
You understand? The hare is just another rabbit, a rabbit. Go ahead.
Right. But divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
Right, so the rabbit is unclean. You know, I live in the South. I live in South Carolina. I done seen some things on the grill.
They sell rabbit. They sell rabbit in the grocery
Hey,
store.
you know what I mean? You heard me. They got frog. I done seen frog meat, alligator meat, rabbit meat, possum meat, raccoon meat. I ain't never touched it even before I knew it was unclean.
Right.
You know, rabbit to me, I'm just like, if it ain't chicken, it ain't chicken. Don't tell me it tastes like chicken. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I'm sure toxic water probably tastes like spring rain, but I ain't about to drink it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
It tastes like chicken. I might as well just eat chicken.
just eat chicken. You know, it tastes like chicken. Give me the chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean? So read on.
God. Verse 7.
This is everybody. This is the big one right here.
Right.
This is a make or break a Christian right here. Read
Right.
on.
Verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
The swine.
And the pig.
The swine.
That swine, that thing that you had on your table on Easter Sunday.
Right.
That big red thing with the pineapple on it.
Right.
That right there. Go ahead.
Though he divideth the hoof.
Guess what? The swine, the pig. All right, so this pig, it divides the hoof. So we looking at the hoof, yeah, it got a split right down the middle. All right, so he halfway there. Maybe he is clean. Read on.
And be cloven footed.
And he be cloven footed. It seemed like a perfect match. Maybe the pig is clean. Read on.
Yet he
Yet.
cheweth not the cud.
Man, but he don't chew the cud. He do not chew the cud. You know what the pig do? Pig eat everything.
Right.
Pig eat dead bodies.
Right.
You know what I mean? The pig eat his own feces.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? A pig will eat another pig. You know understand? Pigs eat anything, man. Those are like the Most High's garbage disposals. You understand? That's basically what it is. It is a living garbage disposal. You understand? Because it will eat anything, and it can eat anything and live. You know, sidebar about a pig, you know, I think a pig is one of the few animals that can get bit by a rattlesnake and not even be fazed by it.
Yeah, because they're already holding toxins and stuff
Right.
like this. It's already got chemicals and toxins and poison
Right.
in it already.
Right, you know, and I tell people all the time, I mess a Christian Day up all the time when I see them eating pork. I be like, yeah, that pork tastes good, don't it? Like, yeah, it do taste good. It tastes rather tasty. I be like, you know why it has so much flavor? They be like, what? Why? I was like, you ever had I liken it to, you ever had a tooth pulled and get what they call dry socket? You ever had that?
Yeah, come.
So in dry socket, I don't know, maybe I had the worst case of it. But dry socket, when you get that infection in your gum and you taste that infection in the back of your mouth, it's real salty. It's very, very salty. And the thing is that that's from the pus and the infections and the toxins that's inside your gum. Though that same pus and infection and toxin is inside your gum, guess what? That is in the flesh of the pig that you eat. And that is why pig tastes the way it tastes. Because you're eating infection and pus and bacteria and toxins. That's what you're eating. That's why it's so flavorful to you. You understand? Because toxins have a salty flavor.
Right.
You understand? So the pig, the swine, though it has a split hoof, though it be cloven footed, it does not chew the cud. So therefore, it is not clean. It is considered unclean according to the Bible. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
So you shall not eat of the swine. Don't do it. That's what the Bible says. Of that flesh ye shall not eat. You understand? So think back to what I broke down in Deuteronomy 28, where it says that if you do not hearken unto the Lord to keep my laws, statutes, and commandments, then all these curses is going to come upon thee and overtake thee. You understand? Part of that law is right here, verse 8. If you can read it again from the top.
Come. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
You understand? How many black people eat of the flesh of the swine? You understand? I used to eat it all the time. It wasn't until I stopped eating pork till I realized I ate pork every day of my life. Or some type of unlawful meat, whether it be shrimp, something. Shrimp, crab, catfish. You understand? I wasn't much of a catfish eater. I ain't like all the bones, but if you had it without the bones, I'd eat it. You understand? But, I would when I was in the world, so like, of course, catfish is unlawful now. We're going to get to that in just a second, but more specifically, the pig, it is in the law that it says of their flesh, ye shall not eat. You understand? So there's no maybe. There's no wiggle room for it. You either eat it or you don't eat it. And if you do eat it, then you are doing what the Lord said not to do. Right. And you are in danger of the Lord. You understand? It's a dangerous thing to eat pig. Not because of what the pig gonna do to you. Not because of what the shrimp gonna do to you. Not even because of the high cholesterol or the diabetes. It's because of the Lord. It could be a bullet for the Lord care. It don't have to be diabetes. It don't have to be a heart attack. You understand? It don't have to be congestive heart failure. It can be a bullet. It can be a straight bullet from a gunfight across town. You understand? If the Lord wants you gone, he going to get you gone. You understand? So the Lord said, of their flesh, ye shall not eat. You understand? He didn't say you could taste it. He didn't say you could eat it in what do they say, everything good in what's the term? In moderation. Yeah. People say everything good in moderation. The Lord didn't say you can have it in moderation. He said, of their flesh you shall not eat. Right. You understand? Read on. Bible shop.
And their carcass.
Talking about their dead flesh. Read on.
Shall ye not touch.
Shall ye not touch. You understand? You shall not do it. Now I'm gonna say this. Oh, read on.
They are unclean to you.
You understand? So the flesh of the pig is unclean unto you. You understand? So I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I used to work at a slavery. I took this job. I was a dishwasher. Probably the worst job I ever had in my life. Worst slavery I ever had in my life, man. I was a dishwasher. I got good at washing dishes. Washing 1,000 dishes within 30 seconds. That shit took. It's a lie. Excuse my language, but it took practice. But for some reason, being the dishwasher, they made me the prep man for the pork ribs that they would sell at the end of the day. And man, you talking about hell. And I'm not a pork eater. So I'm sitting there smelling this pork. And to me, when you don't eat pork, it smell like manure when they cooking it. It smell like crap. That's what it smells like. And to brothers and sisters that are eating it, it's like,
What platform are we looking at?
So, all right. So, long story short, the pig is unclean. The flesh is unclean. Oh, so like I was talking about me washing dishes. So they used to have me prepping the meat, and I used to have to force myself every day to go in and put these gloves on, peel this thing back on the ribs and drain the juice out. And I don't know. I don't even remember what the process was. It was the dumbest. I wanted to save everybody's life and just throw the whole pan of ribs in the trash every day. I was like, I'm saving hundreds of people by throwing these in the garbage, But of course, this is my slavery, some situations, there are times where you have to do certain things because of certain situations, because of slavery. You understand? But that don't mean just because I have to handle the pig that I got to I might as well eat the pig.
Right.
You know what I mean? I gotta touch it all day. I might as well just eat a rack of ribs. You know, You understand that animal? You know what I'm saying? So that animal, so like it's still unclean. You know what I'm saying? Read on, Baba Kasha.
Come. Verse number 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
So all the waters. So then we're gonna get to some. A lot of you sisters tell me y'all favorite food is seafood. Y'all just love it. I hear sisters all the time. Oh, I love seafood. I'm like, oh yeah, what kind of seafood you like? Oh, I like shrimp, crab, lobster, scallops. Like just naming off every abomination you can think of. You understand? I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna never take you out to eat. You know, because it's gonna be an argument. Because I ain't gonna pay for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you getting shrimp bacon wrap? Oh, okay, no sweat.
Right.
I guess you got the tab there, huh?
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like we about to get into it. You know, so now these are the animals that you can and cannot eat. You understand? That are in the waters of the earth. Read on.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
You understand? So it makes it real. It's easy to figure out what kind of seafood to eat. You know, made it simple for me. I ain't have to think about it. You know, okay, whatever got fins and scales. All right, no sweat. So guess what? The shrimp does not have fins and scales. The crab do not got fins and scales. The lobster, no fins, no scales. You understand? Tilapia, it got fins and scales. Scales and fins and scales. What else? Grouper, flounder. You know, it's many fish. Salmon is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I cooked the best salmon. I don't care. No, I got a lot of practice.
Go now.
Hey, I got a lot of practice. Don't do that. I think I got the best salmon. There's only a few things I say I make the best of.
The Bible say prove all things.
All right, no sweat. Let's get some salmon up in this junk. So like my next cheat day, we're gonna have some salmon.
Most I ain't crazy.
I go ahead.
Well, you can eat salmon, is healthy.
Yeah, but I'm on a,
You on a strict diet.
Yeah, I'm on a very strict diet. You know what I mean? And it's been working.
Strict diet.
It's been helping out. So, it ain't unlawful to cheat on your diet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It ain't unlawful.
Right.
But it is unlawful to eat shrimp, crab, lobster, pig, that Alaskan blue crab that you eat at Joe's Crab Shack. A lot of them sisters go up there and get the bucket with all the bucket of abominations with the what they call it, the seafood broil.
Yeah.
Be on Instagram,
Crawfish.
Snapchat with their crawfish bucket.
Yeah. Crawfish, pork sausage,
You know what I mean?
jambalaya,
The jambalaya with the
Mumbo, what they call it? Gumbo.
gumbo.
yeah,
Hey,
all that Louisiana stuff.
man, listen. And just eating all that garbage that the Lord said not to eat. When there's so much lawful food out there, why eat the thing that the Lord said not to eat? You understand? I feel like the only reason why we even eat those abominations is because the white man say it's a delicacy.
Right.
You know, the white man eat fish eggs and call it a delicacy. You understand? He eat caviar, it's fish eggs. Look like a bunch of, I don't know. I don't even know what it looked like. But the white man is retarded. You know what I mean? He'll eat alien manure. You know, if aliens was a real thing, he would eat alien manure and call it a delicacy. Put it on the menu and charge $500 for it. You know what I mean? So just because the white man do it, don't mean we gotta do it. If the white man want to go to Red Lobster and eat a seafood, what they call it, the feast. I can't remember the feast that they do, whatever, with the lobster, shrimp, and it's been so long since I had it. If the white man want to go do them things, let him go do them. That's him. Let him do him. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, this is us in this Bible. We need to do us. Because not doing us is why we end up serving them. You understand? It's why we ended up with the Mayflower pulling up, you know what I mean, hitting us with the get down and lay down. You understand? Or Hernan Cortez pulling up in South America, you know what I mean, chopping heads off, burning Hispanic brothers and sisters on the stake. You understand? That's how we ended up like this. You know what I mean? Because we want to eat the pork, shrimp, the crab, the lobster. You know, and one of the things that kind of blows my mind, I used to talk to a Guatemalan sister. And she told me that in Hispanic culture, and especially in Guatemalan culture, in their food, that it's part of their culture to cook and eat with pork. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's part of their culture to cook and eat with pork. No different than it's a part of black culture to eat chitlins and pig feet. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that them chitlins and that pig feet, those are the things that was given to us during slavery by the white man.
Right.
You know what I mean? More specifically on the 4th of July, days like the 4th of July, Independence. Can you imagine being a slave on the plantation celebrating Independence Day? Can you imagine? Like, you probably the one cooking on the grill for the white man and can't eat nothing off the grill. You understand? Can you imagine that? And here we are in 2019 celebrating 4th of July, Thanksgiving, you know what I mean, eating all the abominations. The white man be like, I'm going to go get that lobster, and you going right behind him. Like, I'm going to go get me a lobster too and be just like the white man. You understand? When you worship the white man, that's how we can tell who your God is. You know, if you serve the God of Israel, the God of the Bible, then you are not going to eat no pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. If you worship the white man, then you are going to follow after the white man and put bacon on everything. You're going to be drinking bacon milkshakes, and you're going to drop dead of a heart attack in the middle of goddamn I.S.U.P. because you want to be like the white man.
Right.
You understand? Read on, Bob Kasha.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So that right there is plain as day. So it's basically he make it easy for you when it comes to the seafood. So it's telling you straight up that if it got fins and scales, eat it. It's lawful. Fry that bad boy. Bread that thing up, put some batter on it, mingle with olive oil and bacon in the frying pan, or frying in the baking pan, whatever they call it, whatever this, you know, I can't remember the exact words that the Bible say. But if it got all that, it's lawful, eat it. It's good. I love tilapia. I love salmon, grouper, all of that. You understand? All of that is lawful. But if it don't have fins and scales, like the catfish, it got fins, but it ain't got no scales. Just like how the pig split the hoof, but it cheweth not the cud. You understand? So, if it don't have fins and scales, the Lord says that it is an abomination unto you. You understand? It's an abomination. You understand? It's a filthy, disgusting thing. So when you sit down there with your seafood broil, you need to understand that you are sitting down looking at a bowl of abominations. You understand? Those are abominations. Read on. The shrimp is an abomination. Crab is an abomination. Lobster, abomination. Catfish, abomination. Scallops, abomination. Squid.
Octopus. Calamari they be eating.
Octopus, abomination.
All that.
What else? Oysters.
Oysters,
abomination.
clams.
Yeah. Abomination. What else?
It's another one too. It's oysters,
Mussels.
clams, mussels, yeah.
Abominations.
Right. Tuna.
Tuna, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is an abomination. Keep in mind, if it don't have fins and scales, it is an abomination. You understand? It's not a maybe. It's not good in moderation.
It's not halfway good.
It ain't halfway good. You understand? It ain't even a little bit good. It is an abomination.
Right.
You understand? A filthy, disgusting thing. Now, does that mean that the shrimp, as a shrimp, doing what a shrimp do, that shrimp is an abomination? You know, no. The shrimp does what it does. It has a purpose on this earth. You understand? That crab, it has a purpose on this earth that it is to shed. Right. Brother Malik says shark meat. Shark meat is an abomination. You understand? Shark meat. That right there blows my mind. That's just the white man getting revenge. You know, he like, yo, the shark gonna eat us. We gonna eat him. You know what I mean? Who?
Payback for Jaws.
Payback from Jaws. Deep blue sea.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Malik, you definitely right. Shark meat is an abomination. Anything that come out that water that do not have fins and scales is an abomination. You understand? Crabs, all of that. Crawfish is an abomination. You know, what's some other ones that are abominations?
I know people eat like conch. I don't know if you ever heard that before, like conch. I forgot.
Yeah, I never heard
They eat
that.
that down in the country and stuff like that.
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that because it's gonna come out wrong. That is
it's a shellfish. It come out of a shell, like, you know. People eat that. Squid. People eat squid.
Yep. Calamari.
People do eat shark. They be having like shark steaks, halibut. You know, all of those fishes have fins, but they don't have scales. You know, what else do people be eating? Swordfish.
Swordfish is an abomination. What else? Stingray. I ain't never met nobody eating no stingray.
I seen it before.
On the menu?
No, not on the menu,
Like,
but I like on Instagram, on like them cooking pages, man. Like, you know what I mean, they cutting up a stingray, filleting it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Filet stingray.
Nah, but I done seen like how Malik said, I done seen people on there eating horse, you know what I mean? Like, literally cooking horse, like, you know what I mean?
Man.
So, yeah.
I remember my last time having calamari. I seen it. I've had calamari many times throughout my life, but my last time having it, it was the most different I ever seen it. It was just boiled octopuses, little mini octopus. They looked like they was alive, but I tried to eat it, and it literally felt like I just had my ear in my mouth. It just felt like I was chewing on an ear.
Nasty.
Like that was the only way I could describe it. Like I don't know what that thing right there. You know, and over in Asia with Moab, they eat them alive.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh my God, I don't even talk about Moab. Hell no.
Moab eat them alive.
I don't
Like
talk about
pick it
Moab.
up with the chopstick. You see the legs
Moving, squirming, and
know,
shit.
slap. It's the leg and grab onto your lip and your nose trying to survive. Hey.
They be pouring some type of sauce on top of it.
Oh,
Live.
man, Moab is retarded.
Eel is another one too. Eel. Like,
Eel,
you know,
yeah,
people
eel is
eat put that eel sauce on their sushi and stuff too. Like that eel, you can't add at all. You can't have eel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. All that stuff is an abomination, man. If it don't got fins and scales, it's an abomination. You know what I mean? And this is in the laws of the Bible. You know what I mean? Because we got to think about it. Think about all the diseases, all the diabetes, all the gout. You know, all the heart attack, the congestive heart failure, the high blood pressure. You know, black men, our life expectancy ain't that high. And a lot of it is because of the things that we eat. And it blows my mind. Brothers go on diets and try to eat right and work out every day and still eat pork chops. Like, I remember I think it was an episode of Martin, where the brother, I can't remember if it was Martin or some other TV show that I seen back in the day. I'll never forget it. But the brother was a bodybuilder. Worked out every day. Big muscles, big shoulders, big back, big chest, big everything. You know what I mean? Big bodybuilding brother. And all of a sudden, he was standing in the kitchen and all of a sudden he was standing there talking to his wife, and he just dropped dead, died of a heart attack. You know, of course, it's a TV show, but the brother ate nothing but salad and ate healthy all day, except for one thing. Every day he ate a pork chop sandwich, a fried pork chop sandwich. That was what he ate. He ate one of them every day, and dropped dead of a heart attack. You know, man looked like the Black Incredible Hulk, dropped dead of a heart attack. Now, of course, it's fiction, but that happens in real life. That's why it was put into that show. Because it happens in real life. It happened to a brother I knew. You understand? Brother, like I said, the brother was in better shape than I was and dropped dead. You understand? So the Lord is not playing when he say that if you don't do what he say in these scriptures, there's going to be curses that come. There's going to be a punishment that come with that. And there's punishments that come with eating crab. Whether you believe it or not, there are still black men dropping dead in 2019 from heart attacks because of it. Whether you want to believe in the Bible or not, whether you want to stop eating them abominations or not, whether you think maybe you think that what the Christian pastor say is right or what the white man say is right, whether you believe what I say or not, that do not change the fact that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men, women, and children are dropping dead because of the foods we put in our bodies. You understand? And a lot of us like to think we got to go vegan and all that. Man, forget all that. You know, I go vegetarian, all that veganism. Nah, I need some protein in my life. You understand? You know, it ain't unlawful to be a vegan. You understand? It ain't unlawful to be a vegetarian, however they want to describe it. It ain't unlawful. You understand? But if you really want to eat healthy and live right, start with these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? Start with that. You understand? Start with the things that the Lord told you not to eat. Put more trust in the Most High instead of putting trust in the white man. You understand? We want to go on the internet and look up Dr. Sebi's cures for all the diseases in the earth, and we want to get healed by some magic oil that Dr. Sebi made. Meanwhile, we don't want to stop eating shrimp and crab and lobster. You understand? But yet we put our faith in Dr. Sebi, but when it comes to the Most High, forget the Most High. Forget what he talking about in the Bible. The preacher man said, I can eat that crab. Preacher man said, I can eat that lobster. You understand? And guess what? Regardless of what that Christian pastor say, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are still dropping dead because of eating unlawful foods.
Right.
You understand? So, like, if you could read on, Baba Kasha.
Verse number 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you.
Go ahead.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination.
You understand? So, we shall not eat the flesh of the shrimp, crab, and lobster. You know, we going over it over and over again. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, and the ostrich, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind.
You understand? So the Lord is naming off all the different types of birds that are unlawful. You know what I mean? Such as the eagle, the ostrich, you know what I mean? Not the ostrich, the osprey, the eagle, the vulture, the raven. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And the owl.
And the owl. You know what I mean? The owl is unlawful. I've never even seen the owl on a dinner plate, or even in a Google image, but it's unlawful. If you eat owl, stop. It's unlawful. Go ahead.
And the nighthawk.
And the nighthawk. Hawks are unlawful. Any type of hawk is unlawful. Go ahead.
And the cuckoo.
Go ahead.
And the hawk after his kind.
Go ahead.
And the little owl.
Go ahead.
And the cormorant.
Go ahead.
And the
What's
great
another type
owl.
of owl? Go ahead.
And the swan.
Uh-huh.
And the pelican.
Go ahead.
And the great eagle.
You understand? So all of these are unlawful. You know what I mean? The pelican is unlawful. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And the stork.
Go ahead.
The heron.
Mm-hmm.
After her kind.
Mm-hmm.
And the lapwing.
Mm-hmm.
And the bat.
And the bat. The bat. I remember there was an ongoing
Can we eat
debate
that?
between Israelites. Can we eat the bat? Like, y'all already debating this? It's right there. No, you can't eat no bat. You know what I mean? You're not gonna turn into Batman eating bats.
Right.
You know what I mean? It reminded me of that Ace Ventura movie. When he had the second one, Ace Ventura Goes Wild, I think it was called. And they had the white bat. Then they had the it's stupid. It's a stupid movie, but it was funny to me. You know, the whole thing about the bat. They ate the bat poop. It was a funny movie. I think it's funny. You know, but go ahead and read on.
All fowls that creep, going upon all fours, shall be an abomination to you.
You understand? So all fowls that creep, going upon all fours, like really the only one I can think of is like the bat. You know, the bat has, you know, even I think Facebook done stopped. I don't know. Maybe I just accidentally clicked something. So like a Facebook. If y'all could let me know on Facebook if everything's still going.
Everything's still going, dog.
Everything's still going? Okay, cool. All right, so let's see where we at. I'll tell you what, we're gonna stop there, and we're gonna drop down to let's see. We're gonna go to verse 29.
Verse 29. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth.
You understand? So there's another category of clean and unclean animals we about to get to. Go ahead.
The weasel.
The weasel. The weasel is unlawful. I don't know why I said it like that, but
The weasel is unlawful.
The weasel is unlawful.
Who want to eat a weasel?
I don't know.
That shit sounds.
Don't eat the weasel.
Weasel.
Don't do it. The weasel is definitely unlawful. Go ahead.
And the mouse.
And the mouse. The mice. You understand? I think, you know what I mean? The white man, he love to eat mouse and rat.
Too.
Moab. Oh, man. That was an epidemic going on with the chicken, with Moab chicken and the mouse and the rats.
Right.
Man, oh, man.
And rat meat.
That rat meat, that mouse meat, it's unlawful.
Calling it beef and broccoli.
Beef and broccoli. Some of that Moab food is unlawful. Even though it say chicken. It ain't chicken. Sometimes.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the tortoise after his kind.
And the tortoise. Now, I never had a desire to eat turtle.
Turtle soup.
But there are people that eat turtle soup. You know what I mean? Turtle soup. It's a thing I have heard of. Never have I ever thought I'd ever eat a turtle. And I thank Yahweh I ain't never touched that turtle. But turtle is unlawful. You know what I mean? The Ninja Turtles get a pass. You know what I mean? They don't get ate by blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
And the ferret.
And the ferret. The ferret, that's like the little, I think it looked like a big giant squirrel.
Like a meerkat.
Yeah, like a meerkat. I think that's the other name for it. It looked like a squirrel, mouse, rat, snake. I don't know. It looked like I don't know what it looked like, but it looked like something.
Beaver or something.
Yeah, like a mongoose.
Something like that.
It kind of look like a mongoose. I don't know, but you know what a ferret is. You've seen them. Just Google ferret. You know, they in plenty movies, plenty famous people got pet ferrets.
Right.
You know, somebody watching this probably got a pet ferret. You know, go ahead.
And the chameleon.
And the chameleon, the little lizard thing that changed colors. You can't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't kill it and grill it and none of that. It's unlawful. Go ahead.
And the lizard.
And the lizard, the alligator, the salamander.
Alligator steak.
Alligator. I didn't know that was a thing.
The gator tail.
Ugh.
And they like Mexico and stuff, but they love lizards. Like what's they call them lizards? Iguanas.
Iguana, they eat them?
They call it like a delicatessen like in Mexico.
Damn, it's a call.
Like it gives you like fertility, like stamina and stuff like that. Like it's like a.
Hey, we need to stop believing in all these fables.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We is not Hamites, all right? Hamites believe you get special powers from stuff that you eat. They
Eating people.
Yeah, man. You remember that movie? You ever see that movie District 13?
Yeah.
Man, listen, man. District 13, man. Them
I think it was District 9.
Was it District 9? Yeah, I think it was with the aliens.
Hovering over the sky the whole time.
Man, District 9, that's what it was called. Man, them little Hamites is eating the alien arm, thinking it's gonna give them superpowers.
Right.
Look, man, you're not gonna get no magic powers from the food you eat. You know what I mean? The only magic power I get is machine guns. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I get. You know, you think long enough, you'll get down. You know what I mean? Read on, Baba Shah.
Sure. And the snail.
And the snail, escargot. Escargot. You know what I mean? I ain't never ate that, but it's unlawful. You know what I mean? Read on.
And the mole.
And the mole. I seen a mole the other day. About shot the life out of that thing.
Yeah.
A big giant mole. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what kind of dog rat is that? You know what I mean? All I know is I needed to put death to that thing. And I let it live when I found out what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
You barely, I don't even think I never seen a mole in real life.
Man, listen, you seen that movie Caddyshack? Mm-hmm. Man, it's a movie called Caddyshack. The only reason why I even remember this movie is because when I seen the mole, I seen Caddyshack. And Caddyshack got a mole in the movie. And it's like it flopped down and just become like a mound of fat and just look at you like you stupid. And that's it. You know, and they do that in real life. And I almost shot that thing with the biggest gun I had because I didn't know what it was. Go ahead.
John. These are unclean to you among all that creep.
You know, those things are all unclean. You know, and that ain't the only things that are unclean. You understand? But he's giving you a good outline to follow so you'll know what's clean and what's unclean. Go ahead.
Whosoever doth touch them when they be dead shall be unclean until the even.
All right, tell you what, we're going to drop that. We're going to drop down to verse 41.
Verse 41. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
shall not be eaten.
Every creeping thing that is upon the earth. There's a lot of little creepy crawlers out there on the earth. You know what I mean? We're going to get to it. Says in every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. You know, that could be anything from a snake that creepeth. You know what I mean? Lizards that creep. Little rodents that creep, everything that creepeth on the earth. Everything that creepeth. Some of you sisters, according to that scripture. So that's a lie. That's a lie.
Sisters out there.
Some of you sisters creeping on the earth. You know what I mean? Creeping is definitely unlawful. So, don't creep. like TLC, I almost said I.U.I.C. TLC. So like it. You know, it's definitely unlawful, man. It's unlawful. Go ahead.
John. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours.
You understand? Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, to give you an example of that, is like an alligator or a snake. You know, an alligator, even though it has legs, you know, it crawls along its belly. It dwells on its belly oftentimes. A snake crawls around on its belly. Go ahead.
Or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth.
Now, some creeping things are insects, like a millipede. You can't eat them.
Oh, people eat them tarantulas too.
Damn.
I seen somebody cook a tarantula and eat that thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey.
Damn tarantula. Yep.
No, I'll never. You know, I don't let a tarantula, I won't let a spider live.
I seen Moab
I've
eating
seen.
Beetles.
Damn.
Yeah.
Moab eat anything.
Yeah, they would. Africans too. Damn.
Man, hey, your ham definitely take the cake.
Kuna Matata.
When I seen that picture of Ham taking urine showers, I knew
it was right there.
I knew that they took the disgusto-meter championship of the world right there. You know what I mean? So them things is unlocked. Like when you watch like Hakuna Matata, like when the Lion King out in the woods eating all them worms and slugs.
Timon and
Pumbaa. Hey, don't be like them. A lot of times, like a lot of places, like in like a lot of Moabite, like out there in the jungles and stuff like that, they'll take banana leaves and they'll just get grubs, like just like what they ate in the Lion King. They'll take all them little grub worms and stuff like that and just throw them in a banana leaf, roast them on a fire, and eat them like peanuts.
Good night.
Them things are unlawful. You understand? Read on.
Come. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby.
You understand? Don't go eating these creeping things. You know, don't be a creep. Don't be creepy and eat these creepy things. You understand?
Creepy.
Don't do it. It's unlawful. You know what I mean? Now, there are insects that are lawful. You know, like the locust. The locust is lawful. John the Baptist ate locusts and honey. You know? Now, will I take locusts over oodles and noodles? Absolutely not. But it is lawful. You understand? What else? The cricket.
Yeah,
Crickets are lawful. You know, hey, you know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, if I'm stranded in the woods 3, 4, 5 days, I'm eating some crickets. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna roast them bad boys up in a big leaf and tear them things up like potato chips. You know what I mean? Those are lawful. So there are lawful insects on the earth. You understand? And there are unlawful insects on the earth. You understand? So read on.
For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy.
What does it mean to be holy? I'm gonna ask the chat a question. Normally I ask the chat questions. I let y'all slide today, but I'm not gonna let y'all slide all the way. You understand? Hold on. We got somebody spamming.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Somebody mad. It's a white boy, gotta be.
Aliens I bet you going to that Area 51. You probably one of them million people going to Area 51. See, you look more white than I do. Oh, this must be a white man. Man, you know how many times I done had jokes thrown at me because I'm light skinned? Come on, man. You got to come harder than that. And I'm not white. Thank you very much. The water. Let's see. Cornbread abomination. Your mama abomination. Nappy hair abomination. Come on, man. Am I nappy hair? Is it my nappy hair or am I light skin? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? What's the big deal? How do we get this devil out of the room? He say fried chicken an abomination. Listen, Alien Zone is an idiot. Fried chicken is definitely lawful. In fact, the ingredients on how to make fried chicken is in the Bible. You understand? You know what? You know, that's a topic for another class. But, you know, being that this is the law history class, you know, I can bring it out one day. But we were actually one of the first people on the earth. I'm just bringing this out because I saw he typed in fried chicken as an abomination. But we were actually one of the first peoples on the earth to eat chicken, period. You know how they say black people love chicken? Well, guess what? Mexicans love chicken too. Native Indians love chicken too. Hispanics love chicken. Every Mexican restaurant I've ever been to, they got chicken fajitas. You know, chicken quesadillas. You know, there's a lot of chicken in the Mexican restaurants because the 12 tribes of Israel, we do love chicken. You know, I mean, guess what? One of the reasons why we love chicken is because the Lord is the one who told us the chicken was lawful. We were the ones who were told what was clean and what was unclean. You know, like this alien zone, I'm assuming he's a white man. His forefathers weren't given no laws as far as what's clean and what's unclean. Which is why his forefathers, you know, when they came to America, you know, they a lot of them, you know, while the Gadites was planting their crops and growing their food and getting their harvest ready to survive, the white man was digging for gold. You know, he spent his days digging for gold and didn't dig for food. You understand? And because of that, the white man used to dig up rotten corpses and eat the flesh of his own constituents because he's too much of a dumbass to grow his own food and listen to the Gadites. You understand? And because of that, that's what drives him to start murdering the Gadites. Because that was their only way to survive in America was to murder the Gadites. The white man's only chance of survival is to find somebody to kill. You understand? And I'm not kicking this man out because I hope he hear all this. You understand? Because this ain't nothing new. You know, we ain't no cowards in the U.P.K. You understand?
Right.
So, you know, you can say what you want to say, feel what you want to feel. You know, he said fake slave history abomination. You know, I don't even know what that means. I was gonna try to respond to that, but I don't even know what you're trying to say. You know, that's how you know the white man just a dumbass. He don't know nothing.
Ain't trying to get banned.
Oh, Salaki. You know, with Alien Zone is a dumbass. You know, Salaki. You know, but back to everything. You know, we broke down for you all the foods, all the meats and animals that are clean and that are unclean. You understand? At the end of the day, you know, that's what we came here to do. Oh, Salaki, Malik answered the question. You're correct. Holy means to be separate, to be set apart. You know what I mean? And what makes us set apart from the rest of the world? In the context of what we're talking about, and as far as what the foods that we're supposed to eat, what did the Lord do to make sure that we were set apart or separate from every other nation? You know, in the context of what we're talking about today. What in the context of what we're talking about today, let's see. Right. So the laws that I get what you're saying. So the laws that he gave us is what makes us set apart. That's correct. You understand? That is correct. The Lord gave us dietary laws. Those dietary laws, those are customs that we follow as a people. You understand? The white man, you know, he in his custom, it is okay to eat pork. It's okay to eat anything. In the white society, it's okay to be a homosexual. It's okay to be a child molester. You understand? It's okay to do these things. You understand? So that is their culture. You understand? And guess what? A lot of other nations on the earth do the same thing. They eat those abominations. A lot of these other nations think it's okay to be a homosexual. They think it's okay to be a child. In the Middle East, you got Arabs marrying 9-year-old girls right now. You understand? They marrying 9-year-old girls right now. So they definitely think it's okay to be a child molester. You understand? So that's them. You understand? That's the world. That's everybody else in the world. But the Lord gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. And those laws, statutes, and commandments, it would make us separate from these other nations. You understand? The Jewish man, he don't follow no law, statutes, and commandments. Because if he followed the law, statutes, and commandments, he'd have read the scripture where it say it's unlawful to be a homosexual. And he wouldn't be sucking on baby rods, you know, when they what they call it? What they call it? The mitzvahs,
Bar mitzvahs?
not the bar mitzvahs. What they call the thing where they suck the rod? I can't think of what it's called. I can't think of the name of it, but you know, who cares what the name of it is? That's what the white man does. He sucks baby rods. You understand? And in our culture, we are set apart from that. We are set apart from that. Now, does child molestation and things like that happen in the black community? Absolutely. Because just like in the black community, you got black people eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? That's because we've integrated ourselves so deep into white society that we live like white society. Like we follow after that scripture, but that quote that say, when in Rome, do as the Romans. We in Rome trying to be like the Romans. And trying to be like the Romans got us being child molesters. Got us accepting homosexuality. You understand? You know, all of these things, all these things that the other nations do, that's them. Let them do them. But these law, statutes, and commandments, they were given to black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people. And they wasn't given to nobody else. And that's an honor for us to have that. You know what I mean? Think about it. If the Lord gave it to everybody, it wouldn't be nothing special about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think about it. If you meet a woman, she giving up the box to everybody, then what make you special? You understand? That don't make you no different than everybody else that didn't have the box. You understand? So the fact that the Lord gave His law, statutes, and commandments to us and didn't take the time to do that for the Arabs, didn't take the time to do that for the white man, didn't take the time to do that for the Africans and the Asians and the Elamites, the East Indians and the Japanese and the Russians. The fact that He didn't take the time to do all that makes it that much more special and that much more of a reason why we should hold on to it with all our might. You understand? Why we should stand on it. You understand? And with that, we the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible. And we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, you ain't in the truth, man. You understand? Stay in our classes, pay your tithes. You understand? Chicago, if you're in the Chicago area, they got the fire weekend going down. You know what I mean? Make sure you check it out. If you're in the area, it's less than what? That's this weekend, ain't it?
What you talking about?
No, it's next weekend. The
It's
fire
the 25th
weekend.
through the 29th.
Yeah, that's next weekend. So next weekend is going down in Chicago. Big up to the brothers in Chicago, Captain Mile Quad, Captain DeBar Moth. You know what I mean? If you got donations, go ahead and start donating to the cookout, man. You know, donate and support this truth. You know what I mean? We trying to push this truth to all four corners of the earth, man. You know what I mean? And Lord's will, we're gonna make it happen. And with that, we got any other questions in the room? Any other questions as far as the dietary laws? Any questions as far as like foods that are clean and unclean before we wrap it up? He said nappy hair abomination. Actually, according to the Bible, blonde hair is an abomination. Blonde hair is a curse according to the Bible. You understand? So, you know, the world like to think that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is the most beautiful thing in existence. But the Bible says that that is the most abominable thing on the planet. You understand? So nappy hair, the most I got nappy hair.
He's a loony. I wouldn't even tell you that, man. He's a loony. I've been talking to him the whole time.
Oh, okay. Oh, no sweat. So like, aliens on abomination. We got any other questions? Is there ever a reason to be able to eat food we're not supposed to eat? Sister Parah Ashah, is there ever a reason to be able to eat like if we have nothing else to eat? It is not okay. There is no situation where it's okay to eat swine. You know what I mean? There's no situation. And to give you an example, it's in the book of Maccabees. You know this. You know where it's at in the book of Maccabees, the sister with the 7 sons.
I gotta look it up.
I'm gonna have to give me 1 second, sister. I'm gonna pull this story up for you.
Oh, you talking about? Oh yeah, I know.
With the sister with the 7 sons.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead and give you the answer while we're trying to find the scripture to give you an example. But I'm gonna paraphrase the story for you until we find it. But long story short, you know, I might be a little off on some of the details, but the sister and her 7 sons were basically being forced to eat pork. And all 7 of the sons were basically, you know, they were basically given an option. They was like, either you eat the pork or we gonna kill you. I think they fried them, didn't they?
Got it. 2 Maccabees chapter 7.
There we go.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 1 says, and it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
See, he says he was compelled by the king to go against the law
to taste swine's flesh.
to take swine's flesh. So they was basically being forced by the king to eat swine, to break God's law. Read on.
And were tormented and scourged with scourges and whips.
So they were tormented. They was, you know, with scourges and whips. They was beat. They got the brakes beat off of them. They was being tortured and tormented and being told that you better eat this swine. They basically, you know, according to what some people say, felt like they didn't have no choice. But they did have a choice. Read on.
Verse number 2. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die.
We are what?
Ready to die.
Go ahead.
Rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
And there you go. This is what these brothers said. Said it's better to die than to eat pig's flesh. It's better to die than to eat something that's unlawful. You understand? So in their situation, that was a death-defying situation. You know what I mean? They were being tortured to death. It ended up getting murdered. It ended up getting killed.
You starving, that ain't no reason to.
Yeah, so starving. Hey, if that sister watched her 7 sons get killed in a horrible way, and then she got killed right after that. You understand? And so, you know, they could have said that they didn't have no choice, but there is no situation where it's okay to sin against the Most High. You know what I mean? There's never a reason to be able to. There's never a time where the Lord would sign off on that. You know what I mean? If anything, that situation where you ate in 3 days and all you got is a pork chop, that's a test from the Most High. You know what I mean? And you are to beat that test. You understand? You are to pass that test by not eating swine's flesh, by not eating those things that are unlawful. You know, and to say that, you know, is there ever a reason to be able to eat foods that are unlawful? You know, that could very well be rephrased. Is there ever a reason for a husband to throw away his wife other than fornication? You know, oh, she burnt the biscuits. Oh, she got to go. You know, if we're looking for reason, we don't need to be looking for reasons to sin against the Most High. We need to stand firm on this. You know what I mean? We need to reinforce ourselves and make ourselves stronger. You know what I mean? So that we can pass the test in that day of temptation. where we feel like we have no other choice but to eat that. But we do have a choice, and that choice is to live or to die. You understand? Because if we pass that test, say if we somehow tell ourselves in our mind, we listen to them demons that's trying to convince us that this is a reason to eat this. You know, for what you don't know is that could be the test where the Lord wipe you out because of it. You understand? Where you be like, imagine them sisters were like, you know what? Just give me the pork. Just give me the swine. Just give me a little bit. You understand? That's what any Christian would do that. Any Christian would do that. Christians, you ain't got to ask them twice. They already said to hell with the Most High's law. You understand? But for us, there is no reason to be able to eat foods that we are not supposed to eat. You understand? There's no opportunity where we're allowed to transgress the law. Now, well, as far as the dietary law. Now, there are certain things like, not working, not slaving on the Sabbath. Not working on the Sabbath. Some brothers don't have a choice. Because we have to work. We are in captivity. We forced to get up and work. You know what I mean? But we can control what type of foods we put in our bodies. You know what I mean? And we can control whether we eat pork or not eat pork. You understand? We can control whether we commit adultery or not commit adultery, even though we're in slavery. We have that choice. We have that power, and we have that will to do that. You understand? Go ahead, Salakia. Salakia, let me know if you understood everything I broke down. If you need me to go further, Sister Parah, I.S.U.P.K. Malik says, our nappy hair, is that why he calls us his sheep? No, not because of our hair, because think about it, Issachar don't have nappy hair necessarily. Gadites don't have nappy hair necessarily. So we can't say that it's our nappy hair is why he calls us his sheep. He calls us his sheep because he is a shepherd to us as his sheep. But the Most High always compares nations of people to animals. He compares us to sheep because we are his flock and he is our shepherd. He compares a white man to a snake, a serpent. He calls some animals, he called the Greeks what? He called them, I can't remember what animal he called the Greek, a leopard. So he always, refers to nations as animals. He also referred to us as lions. He said, Israel dwelleth like a lion. You understand? So it's not because of our nappy hair that he calls us his sheep. That's something like the white man would do. He might, he call you a monkey because you got big lips. That's what the white man does. But the Most High is not like unto the white man. You know what I mean? I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, Sister Parah Shah? Did that help you out? You got any other questions in the room? All right, Most High in Christ. Any other questions? I gotta excuse me. We got the new computer and it's got this tiny itty bitty mouse. I don't know why Apple even made this thing. It's definitely made for people with little hands or average size hands, I guess. All right, so since we don't have any more questions, we're going to go ahead and shut the class down. Shalom, tune in tomorrow. We're going to have the, tomorrow we got the scripture breakdown class. But Friday we do have the Hebrew class. If there are any other questions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or email or give us a call. And, we'll address them in the next class. And with that, Shalom, Israel.